Hello, hello. Welcome to the Monday, January 10th edition. Today, I want to look at what's been going on in the market today. We've had some interesting action in the major indexes. I'm starting here with the Nasdaq Composite. And you see it closed at the high of the day after sinking pretty low below its 200-day line earlier in the session, but it did close higher. Let's go over, take a look at a 5-minute chart. And you can see it gapped down and then kind of gathered some steam as the day wore on. That's actually what you want to see. You'd rather see an index or a stock open lower, close higher, and you do see we had a lot of upside volume here. And for the day, obviously, it's going to finish with upside trade. And that's pretty good, especially finishing at the high of the day like that. We had been kind of in a correction zone here. It fell as low as 10% below that previous high earlier in the session, but now we're about at 8% below that high. So that's kind of interesting, bears watching. This same phenomenon was also repeated to some degree in the other indexes. Now this is the Dow. And you see, yeah, it sank lower. We're not near the 200-day line, kind of near the 50-day. And in the Dow, you saw the same thing. We didn't have a gain for the session, but it did finish near its daily high, and it did rally as the day went on. Take a look. Yeah, you see the same thing. It just really could not eke out a positive return, and closing that gap, it had more ground to make up. Let's take a look at the Spider S&P 500. And, by this point, I know what we're going to see. We're going to see the same thing, right? Because that's going to really be true across the major indexes here in the U.S. Because, a lot of these large caps, these mega caps, they're going to act the same, and some of them are just the very same stocks. So that's some interesting action there that we are seeing. I think the S&P 500, same thing as the Dow, couldn't quite get to a positive return for the day, but nonetheless, that trading higher as the day went on is good news. Let's just take a look at a couple stocks here. We had Nike had a downgrade just due to some of the analysts believing that conditions for further growth are going to be unsustainable for a while. So that did not help with the Dow performance right there. We also had Boeing, another one of the big components, not as bad as Nike, but finished lower for the day. Let's see, it was down about 2.87% for the day. So, kind of some mixed action. But let me go over and show you one that I like, that I did talk about the other day. So Tesla, it's been off this high. It broke out of this double bottom base. And I did say in my video the other day, even if it continues to fall along with the broader market, I still like the prospects for this. Tesla announced today that they were going to be sourcing tin and lithium and copper, I believe, maybe iron ore, from a company in Canada called Talon Metals. So that made some big news. Talon is traded on the Toronto Exchange, so I don't have it here on these charts, but that stock was up today on the news as well. And, Tesla had those blowout sales figures for 2021 and for the fourth quarter. So not expecting a big decline here, and today's action does kind of underscore my optimism about this stock. Even if it corrects a little further, I think for the midterm, for the long term, this is a good one to hold. All right, tomorrow I'm going to take a look at some smaller companies because really we're in an era right now where the mega caps are dominating market performance, and not just because they're heavily weighted in the indexes. That's kind of obvious. But just because of, frankly, the cash they have to throw around, their ability to make deals. And I think they're just in a much, much better position to show some gains than some of these smaller companies. Even though small caps historically do outperform larger companies, we may be in a little bit of a different era for a while now, at least when it comes to tech, maybe not to all sectors and industries. All right, thank you for watching today. Hope you found that helpful.